Yes, I can it! You'll win a prize! I can do it!
There's a wee chain around it.
Oh dear, oh
Just like a
dear.
Scottish accent, by the way.
Well, there we are. Anyway.
Scottish
Yes, it was.
So the fact is we're more tolerant of queue jumpers than they deserve, it seems. Now, who is the coolest, grooviest, hippest cat on the show tonight?
David Tennant, I would have thought.
Yeah. I'm going for Bellman.
Yeah, could be. What do we know about these words?
They're jazz words.
Many of them are jazz words. And
From
how
that-
old are they?
Since the 20s, 30s?
Early...
40s?
No, earlier. Stone Age.
Let's take the word cool. When did it first mean, like, fashionable, do you think?
60s beatnik poet era.
Hitler.
Oddly enough, it was the year Hitler came to power, 1933, but I don't think that's quite relevant.
These new uniforms are cool.
1933. Bizarrely.
So this is Christmas.
I'm Chinese in Nazi Party. They're cool, Daddy.
Cool, Daddy-o.
Bizarrely, it was 1933.
Besides, I have no choice.
Yeah.
I burnt out a Reichstag. Cool. Jazz Nazis, eh?
It was the West Coast School of... But it was the West
Jazz
Coast...
Nazis are used both ways.
It was the West Coast School of Relaxed Jazz led by Miles Davis, and his album The Birth of the Cool was 1957, which, oddly enough, is the year I was born.
Extraordinary.
So maybe I am cool.
Cool.
I love that
Groovy.
if you saying all that as a chat-up line in a nightclub. Do you know who the coolest person in the room is tonight? No, let me explain. In 1933, cut to 2 hours
I was
later,
so
and
cool.
that, madam, is why I am cool. Can I get to another move?
Where's she gone?
Don't go.
What about groovy? What about groovy? When did
Groovy,
that,
baby,
When did
yeah.
the groovy first
Groovy,
arise?
ploughing in the 17th century.
It's got to be from records, isn't it?
You're right. In the 1930s again, black jazzers in the 1930s in the groove because the needle was in the groove of the record. Exactly. There we are. So what about hip or hep? When did that come? A hip cat, hep cat. When did that?
Hip or hep?
Well, both words are used.
Hep. I've never heard hep.
You not heard hep?
I've heard hep cat, yeah.
As in,
Hep cat,
as in
you've
hep,
heard
hep, hep hop.
1940s. Yeah, I've read On the Road.
My nan's just had a hep operation.
But
Or a
it's
hop operation.
hip or a
where you
hop.
just cut one
Hip
leg
hop
off.
hep. It first came in black
Roman
American
times.
slang in 1904. Hip.
Or is it a bit more sexual, maybe?
Well, they so often are, I'm afraid. There is a theory that in the groove is also a sexual
God,
reference to the little shape of the lady piece.
Oh, hello.
And I want you to do that in your chat-up line as well. Come back, I have something else to tell you about it.
What about cat, meaning fellow or chap? Or
Well, that's got to come from Top Cat, hasn't it?
top
Yeah.
cat.
He was the coolest cat in
He was
town.
the coolest cat. He was top cat.
He always got one over on Officer Dibble.
He did.
Cats. From the musical Cats.
That's not cool.
Give me a year as to when cat, meaning fellow, was first spotted.
1920.
Exactly right, to the year. Brilliant.
Wow, that was a guess.
All right. Good. More points. Get ready with a year to shout. Chick, for meaning a girl.
Chick.
Yep.
Spanish, chica.
Chiquita.
Chiquita.
Sí. 1927.
Well, that's in Shakespeare.
Chick.
All my little chicks.
Oh, in one fell swoop, you're right.
Yeah.
In Mac, as you
Yeah.
don't say Beth. What about dude? Dude meaning a person.
The Amish.
When, not who.
1702.
Any other
Why? Let us build a barn, dude.
Any other thoughts?
Neanderthal
1703.
times.
1883.
1883, dude.
Foxy.
Pardon?
I beg your pardon.
Foxy. 1895. Wicked, meaning good, meaning splendid.
2001.
The
2000.
Salem witch trials.
Your favourite year, 1920.
1920?
F. Scott Fitzgerald used
What,
it
meaning-
in that sense.
meaning-
I know, these are all
You don't
surprises.
mean wicked in the burner as she's a witch?
No,
yes?
no, of course not. That's much
They
older.
weren't doing that in the 1920s, surely.
No, wicked in the sense of good, cool, excellent, wicked.
right.
It'd be awful,
Wicked,
actually, if you said that in
Yeah.
the 14th century, thinking you're being cool. I'm wicked, and they just
Yeah.
set fire to you.
Kill you.
So much of the youth slang we associate with the 60s and 70s is actually American jazz speak from the 30s or even earlier. Now, polygamy would be fairly groovy. If you were Mormons, How many wives would you have?
Up to 9.
Up to 9.
Yes. Oh.
Well, that counts as many, I'm afraid.
Oh, does
Bill,
it?
I'm
Up
sorry.
to 9?
Yeah, up to 9. Counts as many.
Famously, yes, counts as many.
Depends what you're discussing.
It's
I
several.
suppose,
After
yeah.
9, yeah.
Totally different. If a policeman stops you and says, "Have you been drinking tonight?" So you can't go, "No, I've only had up to 9." You've had many, haven't you? No, not many. I have between 1 and 9, officer. What do you mean I can't drive a tractor at 4 in the morning through the shopping centre? I only had many.
I'm just after some shoes.
But as you probably know, that obviously Mormons are associated with plural marriages. Joseph Smith, the founder, had a divine revelation, apparently, telling him that he could have as many wives as he liked. But they were stopped by the American government, because they basically said you can believe what you like, but you can't do what you like. So you can believe you can have as many wives as you like, but you can't have it as a practice. You can have it as a belief. And
Does this mean it happens, but there's just no legal...
No, it means it doesn't happen because they go to prison.
But people live together in groups of up to 9.
Yeah.
Without actually...
They do. This is the weird thing about polygamy. We all treat it as if it's some terrible thing like incest. But actually, the weird thing is, if you deceive someone by having a mistress and a whole family,
Yes.
it's not against the law. But if you said to 2 women, look, I love you both, you're absolutely splendid, how would it be if I married both of you? And they said, OK, that would be breaking the law.
Yes.
It's kind of odd. Or a woman said that to 2 men.
It's a tricky time to bring it up at Christmas, though, isn't it?
Well, I just don't see why it should be quite so illegal if people are on for it, if they willingly enter it. If it's a deception, I think it should be wrong.
Should it be capped at a certain number?
Up to 9.
Up to 9, I think. I think bring in the Bailey rule.
10, that's
10. I'm not a slag.
Well, so you say you can't actually do it, then? They don't condone polygamy at all?
No, it's against the law. It's against the law. Fortunately, the head of the Mormon Church, just as it was being announced as illegal, had a convenient divine revelation telling him that the practice should stop. So God just came in at the last minute.
That's good.
Isn't it handy when that
is
happens?
handy, that's good.
There are, of course, the lovely Osmonds. Aren't they lovely?
Are they all married to each other? Is that...
They're Mormons.
Oh, right.
They're members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, I think they call them. And then what teeth?
Beautiful.
They were rubbish. Weren't
Were they? Oh, they?
Apart from little Jimmy Osmond, he was a long-haired lover from Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it was because it was Big Graham Osmond, the one they kept in the attic.
Who had terrible teeth.
He had one massive
Yellow
like a
teeth.
claw.
Yeah.
But he wrote all the songs. By groaning them, he groaned them into a tin can that was connected by a piece of string.
Wild horses, crazy horses.
They're very bad. And you
Roses!
What was that? What was that, Graham?
Bring me another wife!
now, pull this off.
My wife!
I'm allowed up to 9, Bill Bailey said!
Bring her up!
4!
I've only got 8!
I'm allowed to have many!
Now, behave. Pull yourselves together at once. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
What a great idea!
Liverpool!
That's a great idea for an episode of Doctor Who, isn't it? Doctor Who goes into the attic and finds the elderly secret brother of the hospital. And that's how they kill off David Tennant. Imagine that.
Nobody's supposed to...
Is that the plot of the Christmas show?
Played by Bill Bailey.
They're all sick puppies. Very ashamed of you. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, to whom he has forbidden polygamy for 120 years, as it happens, which brings us neatly to the magical mystery tour that we call General Ignorance. So, if my Fab Four are ready, put your fingers on your buzzers. What are these gentlemen spelling out in semaphore? Yes.
Help!
Oh, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Oh, on the Australia, Paul McCartney died, and there's a replacement or something, is
You're not quite that, but you're...
it? I am the
see-
Walrus.
No. Yeah.
We is George, John is All, Paul is Liv, and Ringo is Yellow Submarine.
But not in one.
Not in, no.
No, right, OK.
That's the elderly brother of the Beatles. It's not allowed to be seen.
Don't start.
Yellow Submarine!
Now.
Daydream believer! I love the monkey. Help! Please, somebody! I need somebody!
All right, I don't.
That's very good. Well done.
As it happened, the photographer who was commissioned to do the cover of Help did ask them to do it. But for some reason, nobody liked the outcome graphically. So instead, they positioned their arms in a pleasing arrangement, which ended up spelling NUJV.